Chu, her husband, and her students from China were evicted from Canada's only Level 4 lab, their security access revoked. Staff at the lab was told last Monday the couple is on leave and not to communicate with them. We're getting this from sources who work at the lab, but who don't want to be identified for fears they'll be punished. They say this is coming just months after IT specialists entered Chu's office after hours and replaced her computer, and her superiors stopped authorizing work trips to China.
The document was just recently linked. That's the insert to the vaccines that shows up at the clinics. Now this thing lists all the possible side effects, all the possible things that could arise, the issues that could come out of taking the vaccine. And they plainly lay it out right there for you, what's going to be in this thing. Now the mainstream media is downplaying it, saying, people who talk about those sort of things are conspiracy theorists, pay no attention to those crazy guys. Meanwhile, in the clinics itself, the documents are there to show what the serious issues could be.
Definitely, Toronto Truth Seekers are trying to get some info out on the H1N1. Angry Beaver Radio, we're back here. It's a St. Patrick's Day special. We've got our coronavirus, COVID-19, and the New World Order. It's a big, major topic on the show today. We've also got to talk about the USMCA, which is the new NAFTA Canada signed at the spur of the moment. And then Harvey Weinstein, guilty, 23 years. It's been in the back burner there. The economic crisis seems to have hit big time. But we should really start talking with the corona and see how you're doing. Mike, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here, Daniel. I'm here. How are you doing, everybody?
Nice. I guess we're all in isolation. Well, this is our first St. Patrick's Day where we're in self-isolation.
Oh, it's St. Patty's Day? I didn't know that.
Get a green beer.
A green beer. Oh boy, I think the green beer's gotten stale. I think so much stuff going on.
Well, it's the luck of the Irish.
Oh, I think we need a lot of that.
So since our last show, basically a lot of the stuff we talked about with coronavirus has come to pass. And actually, we weren't really predicting it because a lot of the stuff we said got right, but it was really from that script from the Event 201, where they had staged this all in October. They ran a simulation at Johns Hopkins University, and basically Event 201 laid out everything that's happened since.
Yeah,
and they even call it the coronavirus. They call it the coronavirus that's the eerie part, in the simulation.
Yeah, then they shortened it to COVID-19.
Yeah, which I have a feeling that they were getting some flack from the beer company because Corona beer has taken a hit.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, the lid's finally come off the Corona beer.
And we are seeing people getting it. Now, the buzzword now is flatten the curve. Have you heard this one, flatten the curve?
Yeah, for sure.
They want to flatten the curve. But that seems to be a code word for New World Order. They want to usher in the New World Order. Every time you hear someone say they want to flatten the curve, that's usually what they mean.
Yeah.
So basically, they are trying to say that the self-isolation is not like prison, but it's really like house arrest. We're basically all locked in.
Yeah, it was due to all the panic and everything else too, and all the panic shopping that's been going on, and it's I've been more or less in the background, sort of watching what's going on, and it's just it's funny how people are going in, and you got police out in the parking lot or security out in the parking lot, making sure that you don't park here, that's not supposed to be parking here, you know what I mean? This is for customers only and all that kind of stuff, So you see everything going around.
Yeah, there's been some real battles. There's been those clips in Australia, people fighting in the grocery store. There was in Toronto, even a guy pulled out a gun at a grocery store, I think, last Friday.
That's how serious it's getting.
Yeah, they did show one of the Toronto Raptors actually in the line yesterday for groceries. Yeah. He's had to apologize, though, because they're supposed to be on a 14-day quarantine since they've all been in contact with the few basketball players that have already got the corona.
Yeah.
They did say they tested negative though, so that's another interesting part is which celebrities are going to test positive, which are going to test negative.
Yeah, well, not everybody's got it, Daniel, and
No.
but the media, who's one big culprit here, is letting you know that it's everybody's got it, and everybody has to be quarantined, whether you've got this virus or not. It's just a virus.
Yeah. Well, there's a chance it was a bioweapon, so it could be a bit more lethal than just a virus.
True, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I still haven't discarded that theory because I haven't been able to disprove it. There's still a chance it came from a lab. There is even an outside chance that what China's saying is true too, that it wasn't them that released it. It was someone else. But either way, if it came from a lab or if it was from nature, it does seem like there is some real victims, just not as much as the seasonal flu at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the seasonal flu is more lethal maybe, but this one seems to be spreading.
Yeah, it's spreading, and most healthy people usually just get it and they recover in 2-3 days or a few days.
Yeah. So that is an interesting part. If it was actually engineered in a lab, was it engineered to just attack older people or people with conditions pre-existing?
Yeah. When you really get into the deeper mindset of what's happening here, it's basically it gets people to have bad immune systems, and people that are elderly who are sick and whatever too, right? So look at Italy. Italy's got a big population of elderly people.
Mm-hmm.
And how did they get that?
It does seem like a bit of a genius weapon, because then you could take over a country by just basically taking out all the older people, and then the younger people, basically, you just can take them over mentally, probably.
True, yeah.
If there's only kids left.
Yeah.
Because it is a bit eerie if they say that no kid has actually died. They have said that some kids have got it. Actually, the one in Toronto was the first I had heard of it.
Right.
They said like a 1-year-old or a 3-month-old or something, but then they did say they haven't found one kid that's died from it yet.
No, yeah.
Youngest I've heard is early 20s. So.
Yeah. But
so it is weird.
If they say it's sort of like it originated in China, Wuhan, China.
Yeah.
How come somebody's getting it out here? It doesn't make sense.
Well, there is a lot of tourists from China because they really didn't close the border. They just closed it actually like yesterday, I think. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Well, yesterday, Daniel, we're out over at down near the airport.
Oh, wow.
Dixie and Midway.
Yeah.
There's a Wendy's and a Tim Hortons connected, and you could see the planes coming and going.
Yeah.
And you could see the planes that I saw were going off to different countries was China Eastern. Lufthansa is Germany, German Airlines.
Yeah.
And Air Canada, WestJet were flying. Like it was like flying like it was normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, but there is the chance that those are the last flights. Because they did warn that all Canadians are supposed to return home, and then because they're while you still can or something was what they said. So that does say that they're thinking there's going to be a time where you can't. So whether it's today or tomorrow or at some point, they're not going to have these airplanes going. And once they shut them down, it'll be for like at least a month. Now they're talking about 8 weeks. Now they've changed their isolation time.
Well, I'm looking out the window now, Daniel, and I see an airplane coming in for landing.
Oh no! Yeah, they are saying that they're enhanced the screening measures at the airport, but then apparently the enhancement is they're only asking one more question or something. They had asked one, now they're asking 2 questions.
Yeah.
At least according to Ezra Lament, he sent the Rebel News guys down there.
Right.
See what people say when they get off the plane. Basically, these people getting off the plane are saying that they're going to self-isolate, which is basically what everyone's already doing. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there'd be really
Oh,
no difference.
are you self-isolating, Daniel?
Yeah, but I've been out a few times just because I know that if they do what they did in Wuhan or Italy, that eventually they'll cut us off from being able to go out. So as long as you can go out a few times now, then maybe, and if it's going to be a few months indoors, that you could just remember the times when you're able to go outside.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've been going out. I don't care. Like, how you're not going to catch this virus if you're just outside, because it's not airborne. It's people to people.
Mm-hmm.
If you come face to face with somebody and they sneeze on you and cough on you and you sneeze in your sleeve type of scenario, which they've been telling you to do, sneeze in your sleeve. And I'm thinking way back when we were out there, the H1N1, sneeze on your sleeve. Are you crazy? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when that social engineering started. So this is a new form of social engineering. They've got different ones. They've got where you got to tap your tap elbows, which is actually your sleeve, the part you sneeze into. Now you want to tap your elbow with someone else's elbow. So it's already dirty. The other one is touching shoes, where you touch shoes.
I saw that video on that too.
Right? But I think they know that your shoes are your carry your most germs of anything you wear. So
yeah.
That's what it's turned to. The masks. Yeah. Have you masked up yet? Are you into a mask or you?
No. I don't. I'm not falling for that propaganda. Daniel, that's an inappropriate question. You know that.
They do have black masks though. If you want to do for an Antifa look, you could do black mask.
Yeah. Hey, you can get away with anything looking like that. You know.
Well, the part that really gets me thinking is the celebrities. Once you start seeing celebrities get it, you have to wonder what's really going on, because are they actually getting it? Like, isn't it a bit strange that you're more likely to get it if you're a celebrity than if you're anyone else, than if you're a random person? And then you start seeing these famous actors have it, and because all you would really need is to get a few of them on board. And maybe some of them don't even know they're on board. They're just being given results for a test saying positive, that they're coming out with it.
Or it's just complete BS. They're just putting them out there as a poster.
If you're a politician, a famous actor, or entertainer, or a sports figure, you're more likely to get it, because you look at who's getting it. It's like there's only a few hundred people in Canada that have it, but somehow the Prime Minister's wife is one of them. What's going on here?
I don't think she's really in isolation at all. That's probably just a show that they're putting on. Who knows?
Did you hear the rumors though that she could have been a possible affair, a rumor of an affair with Idris Elba, who says that he has it, the actor from England or from the UK, that they had just met a few days ago when she was over there, and that now he has it. So they both have it. So we don't know who passed it on to who, but they're well, we know the World Health Organization is the WHO, the real WHO, but
the real WHO.
That's going to be coming out when the shot comes out, when the shot is the pandemic, when the vaccine.
Yeah, that's probably what they're waiting for.
Because if they make it mandatory, and you already sent me that article link about Denmark. Denmark is going mandatory. Yes,
they are.
So if the WHO comes out with that, then they're going to force everyone to do that, because they could be behind all this group, not allowed to have groups of multiple people, self-isolation. This could all be a plot from above. Because once you see all the countries working in coordination, you have to wonder who's pulling the strings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've never seen a lockdown like this. Even though more people had H1N1 and died from it, they never did this. They never had a lockdown or.
No. This was just the next step that they're just putting through.
So what we need to worry about now is that if they're going to erase that history, because H1N1 wasn't that long ago, so a lot of people still remember it. So that's why it was convenient that YouTube is now going to start removing videos, they've said.
Yes.
Even videos that don't violate the community guidelines. They just say, bear with us, we're going to We're going to remove things. So that's why I'm keeping a close eye. We'll see if Toronto Truth Seekers still appears from the old days.
Yeah. Well, I hope they keep that up there, because that's really good information, and they're trying to demonetize us, from making any effort to keep the truth going, and we're not making any money out of this or anything like that, but they're just demonetizing you anyway, right? That's what they're doing. So
yeah, because we are changing minds. And that's where we're waking minds, at least. That was the old TTS banner headline, TTS Waking Minds. Toronto Truth Seekers, we used to meet down at Yonge and Dundas and hand out flyers and hand out information on what's in the vaccine. They had bought twice the amount for the population of Canada, and then still hardly any people got the vaccine.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But with this one, because they've created such a panic, that's where I have a feeling a lot of people are going to run out and get it.
Yes.
Even though they're going to push it through untested. They've already said that they're pushing it through faster than any vaccine in history.
Well, of course, they have a patent on this vaccine already.
Did you hear from Israel, though? They've got they're coming out with something that won't be a shot. It'll be drops. You take it orally. Drops.
Well, anything with less pain, people will go for it,
Yeah, but you're drinking Corona. You're basically drinking a Corona drops.
Does it have any lemony taste to it? Does it have anything to make it taste good, or?
Yeah, that's what they say is Corona with lime, is that if the ticks start carrying coronavirus, then you could get both Lyme disease and Corona.
Yeah.
Tick bite. We'll see if it mutates that way.
Right.
Because that is the threat, I guess. If it was made in a lab and it starts mutating, then who knows what it could turn to.
Yeah, true. I agree with you there. So you got to keep an eye on what's going on here. We've always mentioned that. Always read between the lines, and always, talk to people. And for me now, for me personally, I'm just going out. I go for a bike ride here and there and everywhere, get some fresh air, and whatever you want to call it, and and just enjoy life. Why panic for? That's what they want you to do.
Well, do you have your toilet paper supply? Are you stocked up?
Just stocked up normally, not like a crazy person. I mean, like,
I see in the lineups they're going around the block, certain Costco's, and
yeah.
As soon as the store opens, you see people running in. They're getting their exercise that way. They're pushing the cart, running to the toilet paper aisle.
Exactly. What's toilet paper got to do with the virus?
Yeah, I actually have a feeling that the toilet paper will be like one of the last things to run out, because it's like an essential, and it's mostly made in factories by machines that are not even like humans. So
yeah,
they can keep that going a long time.
Yeah. But the fear is already in your mind that we got to buy this or else they're going to run out. Boom, 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 boom. So for me personally, I'm just on the sidelines, just watching all this crazy stuff go on. It's just unbelievable.
You'd stock up on colloidal silver, stock up on.
I've got vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, I've got vitamin D drops here, which I take every day.
Nice.
Until the weather gets nice and I go outside the balcony and get the real sun.
Yeah.
That's if they haven't been covered with spray, which a couple of days ago, the skies was just. I woke up in the morning and it was nice blue sky, and I thought, wow, isn't that sweet? And I just went back, get maybe half an hour more sleep, and then I wake up and I see this great big huge trail going by. And
wow.
Right, and I go, oh no, here we go.
Yeah.
They started already, and by the end of about 4 hours, it was literally covered in white.
Oh no.
It was terrible.
Well, one thing we can hope is that they're just trying to get in their last sprays now before flights get grounded. Because if there's no planes in the sky, then those will start looking obvious. People will say, "What's that going on?"
Well,
Crisscrossing.
Daniel, that they're not really passenger planes anyway. They're just up there to spray only.
Yeah, but it'll get obvious once if there's supposed to be no flights, and then you start seeing those.
Well, they're so high up in the sky, nobody looks up anyway.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to look up.
That's true, but they will be looking at street level, and if they start doing the spraying that they've been doing in China here, then look out as well, because we don't know what's in that spray that they do over in China.
Yeah.
But they have spray teams, and they have those big trucks. I've seen the big with the hoses on the back. They just drive around spraying every street.
Yeah.
And then they have these teams of guys with almost like a Ghostbuster pack, with a backpack full of who knows what the liquid is, but they're got the big spray gun and they're spraying everything.
Yeah. Well, no mask is going to help you with that. No way.
No, and that's the stuff we'll be dealing with for years. It reminds me of 9/11 first responders in that sense, because for years they had to deal with the side effects. So I'm sure we'll be dealing with the side effects of the spray, and then also the vaccine. If they do the vaccine, especially in mandatory, you'll get a lot of side effects with just on the law of averages. That people are going to have a bad reaction.
Yeah. Well, anybody with like asthma and stuff like that got infections anyway, like from the spray in the sky. They're going to get you down here with the vaccines. So you're getting it every angle.
Yeah. That's why the New World Order is really taking over. That's why COVID is the New World Order.
Yes.
Code for the New World Order. And the timing of it as well is also a bit coincidental. That they waited for all the big lockdown to happen on the week of daylight savings time, because they know that when they take that hour away in the daylight savings time, that it takes people a while to adjust. Like last week, everyone's all groggy and they're all trying to, because your internal clock is unbalanced.
Right.
So it's the perfect time to put all this stuff through when people aren't thinking straight. And I think that's what they did. The other coincidental thing is the big lockdown for all groups, bars and restaurants, is the day before St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas when they did it in Wuhan, China, they waited for the day before New Year's Eve, the big day when everyone's going to be out in groups. So
yeah. Well,
I think they have this well timed.
Yeah, I think they said something about you can't be in any more than 250 people in a room or something like that.
Yeah, but now that's down. Now it's down to less than 50. That's why they say they can't even bring back the sports, because the amount of players on each team plus all the coaches and all the referees, you'd be over 50. So they can't bring back like NBA or NHL.
Well, I guess you'd have to play against empty seats.
Yeah, which we've already seen in wrestling. They've already started. Yeah. That's where it really starts.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, sure.
I had a feeling something was going to happen when I saw that pay-per-view a few weeks ago, the one they did in Saudi Arabia. And then I noticed that like a third of the people in the crowd had the masks on. So something was happening.
Yeah,
they're already feeling it over there.
Yeah.
They did say they found mass graves in Iran, or large holes that they were theorizing could be for graves, but.
Yeah. I heard that they were. Was it China? I forget where it was exactly. They were building incinerators.
Yeah, I have heard that rumor of China. That it's unconfirmed, but that's what they're saying. Yeah. That's how they were able to beat the virus, to get to flatten the curve, was by anyone with symptoms. You just burn them, incinerate them. So.
Yeah.
Which is scary. If you can do that and take them out before the virus does, then you can maybe say they didn't die from the virus.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Keep your numbers low.
Yeah. But we don't really know exactly, because our media tends to overblow everything, and always our media is always, the government's always pointing fingers at other people, when it actually this virus was probably created in Canada or United States.
Yeah, no, Oh, well, it could be created anywhere, but I think that is a leading theory, is that it was stolen from the lab in Canada for sure. The Winnipeg lab, because they kicked out a woman that was one of the main researchers
Yeah.
just over the summer, I think. And she was a famous researcher because they had all the stock footage of her from Ebola. She was working on an Ebola vaccine.
Right.
And then they had gone back to Wuhan to the School of Virology many times over the years. So,
right.
had she been smuggling it out and bringing it over there, that still is only a theory because it's not proven. But
right.
the RCMP was quiet on what she took, what her offense was to get her kicked out of the country.
Right.
But must have been something.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
And the other guy, there was also a Harvard professor that got in trouble. They found out that China had been giving him millions of dollars over the years. It added up to millions. And he was directly involved with Wuhan, with building a school in Wuhan. Did you hear about that, Doctor? He was a Harvard guy, and so Harvard got in trouble there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they're saying how the Chinese influence on the different universities.
Yeah. But since this so-called pandemic came out, China's slowly getting back to normal. Yeah. And most people are survived. And but the media doesn't even report that. They don't report how many people have actually survived. It's how many people have got it, how many people have died, and that's all they ever talk about. They don't talk about anything else, you know.
But they don't, when they talk about how many people have it and how many have died, they never bring up like the common flu or whatever, how much more deadly that is.
Yes, exactly.
But and they not
one time, not one time did they come out and say about eating healthy and building your immune system, which is your best defense against any of the virus. They don't tell you to do that.
No,
you know, they're just waiting to you to accept the vaccine. That's all. That's you know, the best defense is the shot, which is the pandemic. Actually,
that's the panic in the air. Yeah,
that's the panic in the air.
And what you're finding is that the streets are bare. You could head out anywhere. Like if we went down to Yonge and Dundas to try to hand out flyers, we'd see only a few people walk by. Like
for sure. We'd be going home after the first hour.
On an empty subway.
On an empty subway.
Very rare.
Oh, I know. We'd have the whole car to ourselves.
They did say, though, that they are trying alternative methods for testing now. And that Ontario had our first death today from COVID. But then the caveat on that one was that they tested the guy after he had died, and he tested positive for COVID. So. Oh, really? Yeah. So we're getting those now. Now that they've used up one test kit on someone that had already passed away. But whereas we have the Prime Minister of Canada who's living in a house with someone that has it, who's defiant. He won't get tested himself. Have you seen that? Justin Trudeau, they keep asking him, will he get tested? He says no. He won't. Well,
look at Donald Trump, the U.S. president. He got tested and came up negative.
That's why Trudeau should at least get tested, because he's probably had more contact with someone that has than Trump has.
Yeah.
Trump did meet the guy from Brazil. Some guy from Brazil that tested positive for it, but other than that. Justin Trudeau, he's living with someone with it. That's where, he should, but he seems to have taken a sidestep here, and that Christina Freeland has taken over. They actually have a whole panel. They seem to come out every day now, I've noticed on the news, around 1 p.m.
Yes.
And Freeland's in the middle, but they've also got Bill Blair, they've got Mark Garneau, the astronaut, they've got the health, Minister of Health is out there.
Well, just those people in that one group is a pandemic. Bill Blair? Gotta be kidding.
Well, Bill Blair has finally closed down the borders. He might be a few months late, but he's done it.
Yeah.
Except they did say that for refugees, they're still going to let them in. They're going to keep Roxham Road open, but they're going to get a second. They used to do a 24-hour screening, but now they've got they're going to take them to the refugee center. But now they've got a second refugee center where they're going to hold them for 2 weeks, like a special coronavirus refugee center, and then they're going to be able to go to the main one in Montreal.
Right. Yeah.
So don't expect them to slow down.
No.
The refugees, because they keep the border open to the U.S. That's why I wanted to bring up that USMCA, because that's another coincidence in this whole thing. It's like a time of panic, and then all of a sudden they have to pass the USMCA like within one afternoon or whatever, right before they shut down the government for who knows how many months they're going to be shut down. They had to get that one in before it was too late.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we've got basically, we're probably forced to keep the border open to the U.S. from that.
Well, of course, we just signed the new NAFTA.
Yeah, that's what it is. The new NAFTA, USMCA. Except I think the old NAFTA had some benefits for Canada. I have a feeling this one won't have any benefits for Canada in the same way.
Yeah. Well, Trump said that he's got benefits for his people, like giving them checks. Give them money, you know what I mean? Just to, basically to shut them up so you don't complain about this whole situation. That's not going to solve anything.
Yeah, there's got to be a catch there, and I think Canada will definitely start that if they can give free money out.
Well, look at me, Daniel. I'm still waiting for my old age pension. Is that another form of payment?
Yeah, the only one good thing I heard was Bell Canada. Did you hear Bell Canada announce that they're gonna waive overage fees for the next month or two?
Yeah. Well, nowadays they've gotten rid of the overage fees for quite a while now.
Well, so then maybe either it's not that big of a deal, but that's where you'd want to be on like the lowest price plan, and then you got unlimited internet for the time.
Yeah, I'm with Freedom Mobile here in Canada.
Yeah,
and there are no overage fees there. They just slow you down. That's all.
Oh, slow down. I see.
Yeah, but you still get it till the next time, right?
So it's unlimited, and that's
it's unlimited. But I'm talking to you on my phone with my Rogers Wi-Fi.
Yeah, is that unlimited too, or you got that?
It's unlimited, yeah. Because the plan I had before was like an old plan. It was like 250 gigs.
Yeah, and then once you go over, then that's when it starts adding up. They charge like $5 gigabyte or whatever. That's when it really adds up.
Yeah, but now I've got the good plan, which is just unlimited. So I'm just coming to you off the Wi-Fi, and I'm happy. I don't have to use my phone data.
But Rogers hasn't been as nice as Bell. That's what I wonder what's going on. Rogers hasn't announced any of that overage fee or.
But they probably will. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, because basically that's what everyone's got to. Everyone at least has to have something streaming or something, because people are going to start going nuts because they need the bread and circuses. They need the New World Order distractions, and if you cancel all the sports and all the big events, then what are they going to have?
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
They're down to Netflix. And then also coincidentally, all the major, like the biggest companies in the world have also started their own streaming. Whether it's Disney or Apple or Amazon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So all these companies want everyone at home trying to go streaming. So they stand to benefit. Any kind of crisis, you have to look who's going to benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is it the guy hoarding toilet paper that's going to charge $50 a roll? Is it the guy?
I saw a video where this lady had like maybe a 4-pack of or whatever it was of toilet paper, and she's going out selling it to people. Sell out of your car or something like that. She's selling here's.
That's a good business from all the people in line, because then they could avoid the line. They'll buy it from overpriced from a guy.
Yeah, so some woman, she had it underneath her big coat.
Trench coat, have a few rolls lined up on the
Yeah, we did.
Trench coat.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, is she actually flashing herself, or is it just what is it? You know, turned out to be the toilet paper she was flashing.
And speaking of flashing, we do have to bring up, we did have an update on Harvey Weinstein. Well, Harvey Weinstein in Hollywood, that he got a guilty verdict and
Yeah,
23-year sentence. So that's something.
yeah. Well, he was part of the elite.
Yeah.
That's why he got it.
It's a fall from grace though, because they did have all those clips of all like the most famous actors in Hollywood all thanking him when they win an award, and like even Michelle Obama a few years ago at the White House thanking him,
Yeah.
saying he hosted this big event. It was all him. It was the reason it was happening.
Yeah. Well, the kicker to this, Daniel, I saw a video of him. Remember you seen him walking with a walker?
Yeah.
And he walked in to the courthouse and walked out normally without the thing.
That was staged, so he was looking for a lighter sentence, but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Because 23 years is a lot when you still have another trial coming up in LA, because then he might have they might add them up together.
Yeah.
So he'd be in a long time. But
Yeah.
they did say that they built a suicide-proof cell for him, because they don't want him to do what Epstein did and then
Commit suicide or whatever.
even though the Epstein one is still questionable because we don't really know what happened there.
No, just ask the people that actually know him. You know.
Yeah, that think that he would never do it, and that he would have some kind of backup plan, some kind of.
Ask Luke Wachowski. He went to the island.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what he starts posting, because New York they're going to lock down, they say. So.
Yeah, I saw a video with his partner there. What's his name?
Burmis, where Jason Burmis was crying. I saw that one. Yeah.
Oh boy, was he pissed?
Yeah, he wants to try to get people he knows out of New York, but they won't go, so they're stuck in.
Yeah.
Because an island you could really shut down, because you'd only have to block a few bridges, and then everyone's stuck on the island.
Yeah.
Like New York.
Like New York. Yeah, like Gilligan's Island. They were stuck there.
They could lock down Toronto the same way, but then there is more roads. There's more ways out. There's more, like you could take some smaller roads. If they lock down all the highways, there's still.
Or if you lived on the Toronto Islands, you couldn't get out either. They'd stop ferry. Stop the ferry travel.
Yeah. Well, they're all already going to be done by climate change, because remember, climate change was blamed for when they had flooding on the island.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and all the big fires in Australia.
Bernie Sanders did say that he wants us to treat the way we're treating COVID is the same way we should be treating climate change. So they are connected in that way.
Right.
But if they start grounding all the planes, and then there's not as many people are out driving, that would change the pollution rate, I think, because a lot of those.
Well, look what happened in China with this COVID-19. Before that was happening, the industry and I've been to China, and there's pollution all over the place. Now with this COVID-19 in place, actually the pollution has been going away.
Yeah, I could see that, because it's already even. The air does seem a bit fresher outside, just because less people are driving and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and no planes.
Yeah.
Or less flights, because I think the planes actually do have a lot of pollution. They just don't like to talk about it, because all the elite like to fly everywhere.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So they like to pretend that it's a clean way of travel, but.
Well, don't they use biofuels?
I never totally believed it. Yeah.
You know, like a lot of vehicles now use biofuels. Your school buses now have to have biofuels. Before a school bus stinking up the whole area. It was really bad.
Yeah, it's true. So some stuff is changing. But if they could keep this going for a few weeks, a few months, then even public transit is getting cleared out. There's going to be less people on that.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm just waiting for my turn to drop this $1 in the cash bin there on the bus.
They're going to stop taking cash, though, because remember, this part of this scam is that they want to go cashless.
Cashless, yeah, that's what the WHO is basically saying.
And that the money they're going to say is transporting COVID, so they're going to need to burn the money, confiscate all cash and burn it and like destroy it.
Well, they were doing that already by getting rid of our penny and getting rid of soon it'll be our nickels and everything else too, right? And coming up with something else.
Yeah, it'll go digital.
It's already digital.
So you're going to only be able to have the card, though, probably card before the microchip. If they could combine the mandatory vaccine for COVID with a microchip, then you could see the next level of the New World Order.
Well, it's coming. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, they got to keep up the panic. They got to keep panic going.
And that the only way they'll allow you into a group setting or something is if you're going to have to scan your microchip to prove you've gotten the vaccine. And because remember H1N1, they wanted you to get 2 shots, not just 1, but 2. So who knows how many they could get with this COVID? You could up it, maybe 3 shots, maybe 5 shots.
Yeah.
They'll have you going back every few weeks to get another round of COVID-19. 19 shots could be the max you'll go for. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think COVID-19 is the year that it actually was developed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or maybe it's the year it was released, because it could be an old one from the lab, if it was a lab one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or even if it did come from bats. Who knows how many years the bats had it before they finally bit a human or whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know about this coming from a bat or outside market or anything like that. I don't know. Like I said before in the last show, that they've been eating all type of animals probably for centuries, and then all of a sudden comes up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I did believe it for a bit too, but then I realized I got fooled once I found out most of those bat soup videos weren't even from China. I realized that they had fooled me. They had fooled a lot of people. A lot of people still believe it too, but they were almost all of those videos were from the island of Palau, which is a small island closer to Indonesia or something. It's
yeah. Mm.
So we don't actually know, but I have seen the videos in those markets. They are some strange markets where they've got like exotic animals in cages. They've got like a small leopard or any kind of like all kinds of weird creatures in a small cage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they've shut all those down, which could be an added benefit because maybe you didn't need those. It's probably like a cruelty to animals thing, but.
Well, over there, it's not cruelty to animals. It just they're the way they live. If
it actually originated. Yeah, it's the way they live, but I think a lot of them are imported. Like they find them, who knows where they find them, Africa or everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of videos on Facebook of people rescuing bats, and helping them health-wise, and then bringing them back to normal health.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that, and they're quite cute to me.
Yeah, like except for the sharp teeth and the hairy ones there.
Well, that's just beside the point. I mean, like that's okay. Like they're helping. They're like mouse or rats with wings,
Yeah, exactly. So that they could have been experimenting on the bats in the lab, and then one of those, all it takes is one to get out.
True, yeah.
Mixes in with the normal bats, like some biohacked bat with a
biobat, yeah.
Who knows what kind of COVIDs they've stuck into it.
Yeah,
they did say that there was a coronavirus years ago, though, like 2012 or something, an outbreak no one knows about.
Right, yeah.
So really, who knows really what's going on here with Corona?
Yeah.
The other theory I heard, did you hear this one that a theory that the vaping deaths could have been from Corona? Remember they were saying a few months ago all these people dying from vaporizers?
Yes, yes.
Just because they were describing similar symptoms of some of the worst cases of coronavirus, where it's like your lungs are filled with water. It's the same thing
Yeah.
they describe in coronavirus as they did for those vaping deaths. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the problem, they don't want to bring that up because then it takes their timeline longer. They want to say this all started like in December.
Yes, yeah.
But those vaping deaths, some of those were in like September or August, I think so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to say it went back that far.
Right.
There's that theory, and the other one I heard about was 5G. You've heard that
5G.
one too?
Yes, yeah.
That Wuhan, China was actually the test city for 5G, or one of the main test cities for 5G. And that they had just turned it all on and stuff, and that's where a lot of the people that are, those videos you see with people walking down the street, they seem fine, and then they just collapse.
Yes,
are from 5G, not from the virus.
Yeah.
But that 5G actually has the ability to take the oxygen out of the atmosphere in that specific areas.
Yes.
So those could even be targeted attacks or just coincidental, like you walk into the 5G force field and that you're in an deoxygenated area or something.
Yeah. Well, it's all coming to a city or town near you. Just a matter of time when they roll it out.
It's convenient. The timing is so convenient that they're rolling it out at the same time that they can blame it on COVID.
Yeah.
Corona.
Oh, for sure.
And then that's also where we get into the economic collapse. That the economic collapse is happening now, and then they can actually blame it on coronavirus rather than some of the things that could actually be the problem.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that it's that it was all about what was it, about Russia and or Saudi Arabia, or that's for the lower prices of gas. I think it was Saudi Arabia and
that's another interesting thing too. They've lowered the price of gas so much, but now no one has anywhere to drive. Really, everyone stopped driving. Like no one's gonna go on any big trips. You can't even get over the border. Well, I guess you could go to the States, but I don't know if you'd want to.
No, I don't want to.
Or Mexico. They probably, because we do still have a border technically, but really because of the North American Union, we're probably all open.
Yes, yeah, I agree there. Yep, that's what's happening now, folks, and I'm telling you, it's they're going to keep this crazy scenario going as long as possible until that vaccine comes along, and everybody's going to go, oh, finally they got a vaccine out. Now I can take it. Oh boy, my lifesaver.
Yeah, that'll be ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, when the vaccine comes out, then they're going to say you're allowed to be in groups again. We'll reopen the restaurants, bars, sports.
Kids will be able to go back to school again.
It'll be Saved by Science will be the theme.
Yeah.
But we already know what the Bill Gates is involved with. And then last Friday, which was Friday the 13th, he made the big announcement that he's leaving the board of Microsoft to focus on philanthropy, including solving climate change and global health matters. So,
eugenics.
You know what that is? Yeah. Because we've seen his old TED Talk where he talks about how he's going to bring the population down 10 to 15% if they do a really good job with vaccines. And that was actually a presentation on global warming.
Right. Yeah.
He just threw it in there.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So we know what the agenda is, and the Bill Gates Foundation was involved with the Event 201, where they laid out everything that's happened since, basically. And how it ends in Event 201 is actually that 60 million people get it before they come out with the vaccine. So let's hope it doesn't get that extreme.
Yeah, just keep our fingers crossed, and Usually it gets worse before it gets better. And just look at the well, actually the stock market was up today, so which it's been up before a couple of times, and then all of a sudden the next day it just tanked.
Yeah.
So I've been losing funds.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. I'm sure everyone is. Once the market goes down simultaneously at once, and once they start doing these things where they're shutting the market down, like stop and start throughout the day, there's something up. I've only seen this really at like 9/11. This reminds me of the 9/11 or the financial crisis, the one they had in where they stole a few trillion.
Yeah.
Before George W. Bush left office.
Yeah, it was 1987 was the last. Well, this year is just as bad as the 1987.
Yeah, the big drop.
Forget about 2008. That's just a walk in the park.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where it gets intense, because anytime they have an economic crisis, that's why economic crisis is usually they would be blaming it on the different, either the government or corporations or something. But they can blame it on a virus, so they don't have to take the blame. There
you go.
And then that could be part of why this is really hyped up. Because I could definitely see the pharmaceuticals would want it to be hyped up because they need to sell the vaccine to as many countries as possible.
Yeah, somebody's going to benefit, and somebody has already. So.
Yeah, exactly. But why the media would go along with it so much is it's got to be some of these other side projects they've got going on, like the economic and.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Security. Basically, that event 201, they do have one table where it's just all generals. So, when the martial law hits, you know who's going to be in charge.
Yes.
If it hits.
Yes, because we don't belong in the big club.
No.
Nope.
No. They'll give the New World Order troops clubs, though. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You just might get hit over the head with it if you decide to leave your house without a mask.
Well, even a mask is not going to do you any good either.
Will they start having the drones flying around, though? Do you predict they're going to have the drone surveillance?
If they don't have that already in place.
Well, another interesting one, because remember how 9/11 was actually based on a novel by Tom Clancy? Was a lot of it they took from these Tom Clancy novels?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That this one, Coronavirus, seems to be taken from a novel by Dean Koontz. Dean Koontz,
yes.
A horror writer. He's sort of like a Stephen King, but not as famous.
Right. Yep.
So who would have thought that he would have had, he even has it coming out of Wuhan, China. He doesn't call it coronavirus, but he does say it's a devastating thing coming out of.
Yes. I think he called it Wuhan 400 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that from, I was over at one of these other malls here, Chinese mall, just about 10 minutes up the road, and he showed me, he says, "Come here, I want to show you something." And he showed me on his phone this particular book.
Wow.
And he showed me everything that was circled. And I go, really? Wow. Like, whether true or it isn't true, it's something good to look at. So I thought, I said, geez, I gotta bring this up, you know what I mean? On our show or whatever. And I thought, maybe there's some truth to this, but again, the author of the book has not come forward with any other information.
No.
The updates.
No. And the same way that Tom Clancy didn't talk much about it, even though they did have him on one of the news organizations. Was it Fox or one of the big ones had him on during 9/11, during the actual day of 9/11 to get his thoughts on it. But really, I don't know if they really got to the bottom of it, of how much they took from his book.
Yeah.
Because the whole part with the Pentagon, I think, was in one of the books.
Right. Yeah.
They might have changed it, though, from the Pentagon. Like, in the book, it might have been the Capitol building that was hit instead of the Pentagon, but it was still like how they did that.
I believe that's what was probably one of the targets, was the Capitol building.
Yeah. That could have been the other plane.
Yeah.
We'll never
But
know with
something happened.
Shanksville.
Yeah, but something's going to happen so much, whether or not they're real planes or they're military planes or whatever, no windows in it. We talked about that when we were on the streets down in Dundas Square there in Toronto. We
Yeah.
talked about all these things and the different possibilities. So I happen to be one of them.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any predictions on the next celebrity that'll get infected or any they did announce today the Game of Thrones actor has got it tested positive. You know the guy with the big beard? I don't know if you know the guy. He looks like a Viking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you never know who's going to come up with it,
I did see a thing too that said CDC once had advised all men to shave their beards for coronavirus. So
I heard about that. Yeah.
You might need to get your razor handy. Stockpile on shaving cream. Stockpile.
Well, if they don't want the infectious bat to come flying into your beard.
But I think that's just the start, because eventually it'll be you have to take off your eyebrows and the hair on top of your head and basically all your body.
Yeah, that too. I wouldn't doubt it. Now you're scaring me.
It'll be that kind of future. Yeah, THX 1138. Everyone will be in a Captain Picard look.
Yeah. Captain Picard. Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see how far they go. Because right now it seems like they're trying different things and see what sticks. Because right now they've been having total success. Like really no one's rebelling. No one's going out in groups. The only people I've seen rebelling that they were talking about today is the kids on spring break in the U.S. They're still having fun on the beach and stuff.
Yeah, why not?
It's because they don't want people in groups. As soon as they can make people divide up and like that everyone's on their own, then they know there's not going to be a big rebellion if they put in the New World Order.
Yeah, divide and conquer.
They can, they need everyone divided to conquer everyone. They can't. The New World Order can't conquer if the people aren't united against it, basically.
Well, how do you make the people docile?
Or if they are united, the docile does definitely seem to be on display here because there's no everything's basically shut down, and then there are people that need that survive like just week to week on their paychecks. So soon it's not going to take long before those people are starving, and then they're going to have to get like government food. I don't know what they're going to do, ration, do the soup and bread lines, I guess. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Soviet style.
Yeah, just like in 1929.
Yeah, the New Depression. It also reminds me of the Occupy camps.
Yeah. I put that up there on Facebook. I said, "Welcome to the new Great Depression." I got a few. I got a few thumbs up and all that kind of stuff for that.
Yeah, they could see it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
We're there.
And I'd post a lot of Max Egan stuff and Dan Dick stuff, and the whole bit. So I watched it.
If you go out, just make sure you don't sneeze or cough, or else they could throw you in the back of the van. Those roving ambulances. SWAT team style ambulance.
But there are times where you have to sneeze. We all sneeze.
Yeah, allergy season. This is not a good time for allergy season because you're going to be suspected of the virus.
Well, if a dog or cat sneezes or a rat sneezes, does that count?
Well, how about the people? How about those laser guns that they can read your forehead temperature?
Yeah,
I've also seen them in the wrist too.
I agree. I've actually had that happen to me.
Ah, you've had a reading.
What happened is in Hong Kong, right? Went to see somebody at work, right, and stuff like that too. When you entered, they give them your name and the whole bit and blah blah blah, and they put this sort of I don't know how it looks like. It doesn't look like a gun, but it looks like something in the grocery store that you put prices on and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Price scanner. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, they put that to your head, and they take, I guess, a reading for you because they don't want you to go in there if you're sick. But I didn't know what she was really doing. She put that to my forehead, and
Wow.
I'm thinking in my mind, what the heck is she doing?
Wow.
But
Yeah. If you didn't know it was your temperature, you could have asked her if you knew. You could have say, "What's my temp?"
No, I didn't. I didn't ask. I wasn't sick or anything.
Well, I also think there's people that have got tested positive for COVID that show no symptoms. So that's where that thing wouldn't even help if the the guys can get through it without a. And then also you might be overheated just from like it being a hot day, or if you just ran around the block or something.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust those temperature.
No. But when I was over there, like the temperature was, it's like an October, November type of time, and the temperature was in Hong Kong at that time was like 25 to 28 degrees Celsius at that time.
Wow.
So I just happened to go out and visit somebody I know at his place of work, and the lady there take your information and point this gun to your head for about maybe 5 seconds, I guess.
Well, what if you had a barcode tattoo on your forehead? Would it scan it? QR code maybe, tattoo?
No, I think this was just basically for signs of if you're sick or anything like that. I don't think it had anything to do with that.
Not yet. Not yet.
That was 2016, so like they probably have changed it already.
Yeah, well, they probably have them more everywhere now. That was probably just like one special office building that was more ahead of the game.
Yeah, but
now they probably have to get it everywhere.
Yeah, but I didn't mind doing it. Like I just wondered, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But I did it anyway, and everything was fine.
Yeah.
There's no problem.
The trouble is now if you get the bad reading, if you get a high temperature reading, then that's when they get the SWAT team medical, and they throw you in the back of a van. That's where you see the people fighting back.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because if you don't feel sick, but then this price gun says you're sick, then they're gonna throw you in the back of the van no matter what.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And then if you fight back, they'll probably who knows what they'll do.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Police in Hong Kong or here or there, they all work for the deep state.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where it definitely seems like a New World Order plan here. We've got a global coordination, and every country is reacting the same way.
Yeah.
They've all banned groups. They've all banned flights. They've all.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, it's to me. There's no real pandemic. They just put that in there just to get people to go along with it out of fear. So they put it up to a pandemic, which here in Mississauga, Ontario, where I live, there has been no new cases of COVID-19 in just over a week.
Huh.
No new cases.
That's something.
6 days.
And that's school or the city of like over 1 million. So you're.
Well, that's the Peel region, where the region I live in, Peel region.
Yeah.
There's 1,450,000 people living in all of Peel. That's including Caledon, Brampton. Right. That's all included in the area.
Yeah. And even Toronto, we're only at like just over 100. So.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Toronto region is like 3.5 million or something. So that's.
Yeah, the GTA.
GTA.
I think they call it the GTAA now, as far as I know.
Yeah, well, GTAA I think is the Airport Authority, Greater Toronto Airport Authority.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I know they have GTHA where they're trying to combine Hamilton with it. I haven't heard of any Hamilton cases yet.
No, they're just dealing with the recent murders that they've had there.
Yeah, it's becoming a violent two cities.
Yes, exactly.
A violent Greater Toronto area because you're seeing it everywhere. Yeah.
And Brampton seems to be the crime capital of Peel.
Yeah, Brampton is tough.
It is, yeah. It was okay like 40 years ago or whatever. But I remember that up there 40 years ago, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Right? But now you get a mixture of everybody coming in now, and it's just got way out of hand.
Streets of Toronto.
Yeah.
We've got opioid crisis. We've got shootings.
Why? Because a lot of the crime that's you don't hear much about the crime anymore in Toronto.
No.
It's been covered up.
Yeah, because it's all COVID. The only reason they reported that one gun incident in the grocery store, I think, was because it's related to the panic buying, the hoarding.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, when it comes to crime, the criminals never take a holiday anyway, right?
Yeah.
COVID-19 doesn't come into their mind. Their mindset is doing what they're doing.
Yeah. It's just going to be harder to do the burglaries if everyone's at home, but they'll have to move on to different things or do burglaries in stores, maybe schools.
Yeah, or get you on the street if you're on the street or whatever.
Places people aren't. Yeah.
If they don't get any much crime of doing what they're doing, they might as well just sell toilet paper.
Which is a criminal racket, and basically some of these biggest stores are involved in it now. They say Canadian Tire included was price gouging. Basically, the masks they used to sell for $3 or $4 are now over 15, and they're different gouging.
Yeah, well, one of the malls up here, they had the Chinese mall that's up near where I live here. They had one guy just sitting there, or a woman in a chair, and she had a table full of masks. Different type of masks too. You had the cheaper ones that you could buy. It's $50 a box.
How much? $50 a box.
So it's $50. There had, I think, 50 of them in a box. I think it's maybe $1 a piece or something like that.
$1 a piece. Sorry.
And then they had on the other side of the table, they had like the more upgraded version of more,
N95, the ones with the respirator on the side thing, like the air thing on the side.
Yeah, they're more of like $85, something like that per box. Wow. Somebody's cashing in, all right.
Yeah, because a few months ago you could have got all that on Alibaba probably for like $1 a box or.
Yeah.
But that's a time of crisis. That's when you can really cash in. The people that are shrewd.
Yeah. Well, in Hong Kong, there's a mask shortage right now.
Yeah, that's who they say is the people buying them to send them back.
Yeah, the people here are buying them and sell and take and give them to their families back home.
Yeah, ship them back because they haven't shut down shipping. Once they shut down shipping, then everything's going to change because then food will start getting scarce.
Yeah.
And products, basically, because we rely on China for most of our products. So the stuff that we don't make here, like the essential, like the toilet paper we're making here. So that's why I don't think it's going to disappear right away.
Because it's all recycled paper, a lot of it too, right?
But other imports are going to start disappearing. Imports.
Yeah, or the price. Yeah, that's true. And plus the prices will be going up too as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the prices will be going up, but people will be making less money because everyone's out of work. Almost everyone.
Yeah, that's true. They'll probably send home the regular workers and just bring their office staff out to do the work.
And then the price the amount that the government's going to have to start paying to all the laid off workers, that's where it could drive the economic crisis as well, just because.
Yeah.
It said something about $580 for all for a federal.
Right.
Sending people.
Yeah.
Affected people. So who knows how many that'll be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And another scenario with me, like I'm in our apartment here, and it's a 2-bedroom, right? region of Peel
Yeah.
wanted to get a 1-bedroom because you're overhoused.
Oh, wow.
Right? So earlier this year, take a look at this new place, that they decided that here's a unit that you'd probably be interested in.
Mhm.
So go over there, take a look at the unit, and it's a nice looking unit. And I'm looking around, and looks nice, and but they don't have a bicycle room because I like to put my bicycles in a bicycle room. There's nowhere to actually put it over there except outside. I don't want my stuff being outside, because in case you get it stolen, or just the weather will ruin your stuff. And there's no underground parking or anything like that, so we decided to turn it down.
Huh.
And,
Is it near the place you're at? It's near the place you're at now.
It's close. It's around Dixie and Dundas area, just east of Dixie Road. It's a seniors building.
Ah, seniors. Huh.
Yeah, and I'm now looking back at that. I'm glad I turned it down.
Yeah.
It's a seniors building, and they go, oh, we would have been there with COVID-19, and people get affected there. We could have been affected by something too.
Through. It's true. They would have locked down the whole building. Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to get out. It'd be like the cruise ships where you can't get out of the cruise ship. They could do that with buildings too, where you can't get out the building.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that was the sort of the thing that I was looking at. And now that I'm looking back at it, is I'm glad I didn't take it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So now I just have to pay the regular rent. That's all.
Yeah. And get some gloves, or at least carry some wipes down for the elevator if you have to press the elevator button.
Well, yeah, the super here, he does all that all the time.
That's good.
And even in Hong Kong, even in the condos, they do it every couple of hours. They go around sanitizing the buttons and everything like that.
Wow.
They do that anytime.
Yeah. Wow. I did see in Hong Kong, or in the restaurants, they've started adding a glass divider if you're sitting across from someone. Reminds me of like a prison glass, temporary prison, in the prison scene where they have people talking between across from glass. So that's what we're in. That's why it's a prison planet, because we're all on house arrest. And if you do go out, you're going to be behind glass.
So you're still behind. You're still in house arrest, so to speak.
That's the state we're at now.
Yeah.
This is 2020. Welcome to 2020. It's a few months in.
Yeah. Well, look at Tim Hortons. They're taking more precautions now. They put covers underneath or over top of the tables and chairs and everything like that. And they're doing a complete mopping and sweeping and stuff like that too,
and
right?
Takeout only. They've announced now takeout only. They're keeping the doors locked. I think you even got to walk up in some of them to the drive-through part if you're on foot.
Yeah, before they weren't allowed to to serve anybody on foot. You had to be in a vehicle.
That's all changed in a time of crisis and a COVID, because they said that they could get a $25,000 fine now. Any restaurant or bar that stays open in Ontario, I guess.
Well, look at Kid Rock. He's defying the whole system by.
Yeah, he is the last guy rebelling. It's Kid Rock and a bunch of kids on spring break. That's the hope for the hope for the future. We've got a new world order on our hands, and we're relying on spring break kids and Kid Rock to beat it.
I put a comment up there, and I said, finally, I put a comment and said, finally, somebody's got the nuggets to do the right thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Mike, your phone is cutting out a bit. I don't know if they're finally censoring us, or if they're or if it's a Freedom Mobile, or if you're just in the wrong spot.
Well, I don't know. I've been sitting forward a little bit, but then I move myself back like this.
Huh.
I don't know what it is, but
doesn't quite sound right. But we've been going on for the show, and we're already over our allotted hour, so we should probably wrap it up and come back because we've got too much Corona going on right now to stop doing shows. And since we're all on house arrest, we can start doing more shows, I guess. Because
I'm gonna be like the kids on spring break. I'm gonna go for a walk, go ride my bicycle, whatever around. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
If we had some flyers, we could hand them out down to spring break. Tell them about the shot that's coming up. Tell them about the New World Order.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing lately is putting out, actually burning some of the old DVDs.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially the United We Fall by Press for Truth.
Yeah, those are all those are prescient because they've all taken place. Basically, we've got a North American Union now because of COVID. We've signed into the USMCA, which they had been delaying, so they had to sign it in haste. There's something into it. The same way they got the Fed through, they signed it in a time of crisis.
Yeah.
Don't give them much time to look into it. What's actually in it?
Well, you don't want to let a good crisis go to waste.
No. And we don't want to let a St. Patrick's Day go to waste. So happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, exactly. And, we used to have the parade going down Yonge Street.
Yeah. And there was a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but now we've got a roll of toilet paper at the end of the rainbow to celebrate. So count your leprechauns, see if you can flatten the curve. And we'll be back on Angry Beaver Radio soon to update you on our New World Order lockdown, life in isolation.
Yeah, and all the guys with beards, save your beards, okay?
Stockpile on razors while you can. You guys mask up, and we'll see you on the next cruise.
On the next cruise. We call it cruise.
Yeah, and speaking on behalf of Mike, and this is Daniel, and we'll be back on Angry Beaver Radio next time. This is our St. Patrick's Day special 2020. Word out.
Okay, take care, everybody. Stay safe and build your immune system, and you'll be safe. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
We've been using herbal medicines from the beginning of time. We always haven't had needles and vaccination shots. From the beginning of time, we used herbals.
Go natural. Do not go synthetic with the vaccines.
We shut down 2 H1N1 vaccine clinics out of 10 here in Toronto, and that was partly a result of our efforts.
The more these numbers go down, the better we're going to like it. The more informed people are going to be. So that's all I got to say about that. So let's keep the truth going. Because the truth will set you free. It's the lies that we have to pay for. Thank you.